mercy abounds.
Greetings, beloved, and welcome to our Wholesome Wednesday. We welcome you here on our Mercy Abounds channel. Let us remember to subscribe, like, share, and let us share what our thoughts are. Today we continue in the book of First Kings, and we are on chapter 14. We spoke about the old prophet that is disguising himself or lying to the prophet of God that has been sent to the land, and he says, God has spoken to me, and he says, come to eat to my house, come and eat at my house. And we discover that this prophet of God ends up dying a very painful death, away from where he's coming from, away from his ancestors. And something that the old prophet says that is quite interesting. He says, when he says to his children, he says, when I die, please make sure you bury me next to this prophet. And to think that he thinks that he himself is going to die a proper death after lying, after pretending to have heard from the Lord, he thinks that he will be still given the dignity of being buried. Yet we know that how God deals, right, with people who have been very rebellious unto Him. But let's continue reading and see what happens to him. So today we're talking about the judgment on the house of Jeroboam. Jeroboam, he comes in and is doing all things that are evil, that are not right. And here on this chapter, the wife is sent by Jeroboam because the son is not, Abijah is not feeling well, right? And Jeroboam says, you know what, come to me here. And you go to the prophet Ahijah, and you tell him that my son is not feeling well. Go with him. He will heal him when we get there. But when you're going there to Shiloh, please disguise yourself. Make sure that no one sees you until you get there. And the Lord, on the other hand, God has already gone ahead, and he had spoken to Ahijah, and he says to him, Jeroboam's wife is coming here with a sick child, and she is going to come here in disguise because she doesn't want to be recognized. But tell her this when she comes, that the son that she is coming to consult for is going to die. And I here, I'm going to make sure that everyone in the land of, or all the descendants of Jeroboam are not going to survive. Those that are in the cities are going to be eaten by dogs. Those that are in the fields are going to be eaten by birds, because he has failed to keep my commandments. He has failed to keep my statutes. He has decided to do all things evil. They've decided to have idols. And because of that, my judgment, my time to judge them has come. And he says to wife of Jeroboam, by the time you get back to Jeroboam, when your feet step into that land, your son is going to die. And she walks out. There's something about God's prophecy or declarations or judgment. There is nothing you can do. You can't run away from it. You hear about it. It's sad. It's painful. It's scary. You can imagine when she is walking back and she's having this prophecy, carrying this child who is sick, knowing that by the time she steps into that land where Jeroboam is, the son is going to die. And you're already anticipating the death. And you are alone. You are supposed to walk this journey. You can imagine what was going through her mind. And she follows according to, everything happens according to what Ahijah had said, because the time for God to act had come. Jeroboam had taken so long. No one would think that God is going to come, because he had done so much that he himself also thought at some point that he's going to get away with it. But we are learning something about God. God does not forget. God gives people a chance, right? He gives people a chance to be who they are. But when he's giving them a chance, he is also giving them a chance to also reflect on what they are doing, hoping that, of course, they are going to change. But we are realizing that the more God left them, the more they continued in revealing who they are, and the worse they became. And every time the leader that came became worse than the one that they came before. So you realize that this evil is perpetuating. And here Jeroboam has reached a point where he thinks that God is not going to act. He thinks he's getting away with murder. But the time has come when the son is sick. And we hear from the Bible that the son, God decides that the son dies and gets a dignified burial, because from him he could see that in his heart he's got a good heart, and because of that he gets a dignified burial. But the rest of the crew, the rest of the members from the house of Jeroboam, they are going to be eaten by dogs in the cities. They are going to be eaten by birds in the field. Meaning that God can see what is happening inside our hearts. Even if this son was born from an evil home, he still had a good heart. So it's a choice. It's a matter of choice. You could have been coming, you can be coming from a house of Jeroboam. But to perpetuate sin, it is now a choice. You cannot then base your mistakes on where you're coming from, where your background, where you're coming from, your parents. Your mistakes are yours. You are making a choice. And to the leaders that are thinking they are getting away with murder, there will come a time. Jeroboam thought he had gotten away with murder. But when the time comes, some of us in the leadership positions, our families are going to be eaten by dogs in the streets. Some of us, our families are going to be eaten by the birds of the air in the fields. Let us remember who put us in those positions. Let us remember who placed us there and the purpose why we are there. And stop doing things out of our heads, because the time of Jeroboam, the time of reckoning, the time of judgment is coming, and we can only say, alas, my brother, and watch as things unfold. From us here, mercy abounds. We wish wherever you are, you could do what God has purposed you to do with your life. Thank you.
Mercy abounds.